Take the fight to your opponents with the new Tecnifibre T-Fight ISO 300.
Incorporating technology from its latest 2023 series, the new Tecnifibre T-Fight ISO 300 returns as an impressive choice for the intermediate to advanced player. The new ISOFlex system technology is integrated into the racket's hoop to create a more forgiving and consistent string bed response. Additionally, Tecnifibre's innovative RS section beam design returns, along with a reinforced racket throat for added stability and injected foam for improved feel.
Having previously hit the T-Fight 315 for some time, I was very curious coming into this playtest to see how the same mold, albeit in a slightly lighter package, might perform. Enter the T-Fight ISO 300. Right off the bat, I was struck by how easy it was to find a happy medium from the baseline in terms of both launch angle and power production. And honestly, in a condensed sense, that is exactly how I would describe this frame. It nailed the happy medium in almost all facets of its game. Because of the apparent sense of control, my favorite shot with this frame was actually my buggy whip forehand, in that I could swing really fast and hard and still be certain where my ball was going throughout the stroke. An altogether maneuverable package with ample firmness that keeps you feeling connected to your shots, the T-Fight 300 is very much an all-around kind of frame with specs accessible to a vast majority of players. All in all, with its similar plow-through and balance in the tweener square-inch head size range, I would most specifically recommend this racket to the up-and-coming intermediate to advanced players who might be looking to make the jump over from a 100 square-inch racket to a 98 square-inch one.
As a huge Tecnifibre fan, I was super excited to try this racket, and the new T-Fight 300 did not let me down. On the baseline, I felt like the racket was very stable. I was able to open up the court very easily, absolutely no issues with that. When it comes to power, however, I felt like the racket was not too overpowering, so I kind of had to generate that power by myself, which, to be honest, I didn't mind. I do like to really whip my balls and lean into those shots, so I was actually enjoying that I was able to hit the balls pretty heavy. Compared to my racket of choice, which is the TF40 305 1619, I did not feel like I was able to generate spin that easily, so I really had to make sure to get under the balls and bring my wrist around the shots just to make it easier. My absolute highlight of this playtest were my slices. I extremely enjoy hitting slices with this racket. I really felt like I had a really great connection with the racket, I had a great sense of where my balls were going, and just felt super stable. I experienced similar stability with my volleys and overheads and serves as well. Absolute no complaints there, felt great. All in all, if you're looking for a great all-around 98 square-inch head size racket that has everything, definitely give this one a go.
Not having played with a lot of Tecnifibre frames, I was super excited to get out on the court with the Tecnifibre T-Fight 300. To my surprise, I really enjoyed everything about this racket. I love the comfort level that the frame offered. I felt like it did play a little bit on the lower end of power, which for me, I enjoy rackets that have a little bit more control than power. This frame was really good for my forehands. I felt like I was able to really whip the frame and produce a decent amount of topspin. One con I will mention with this frame is when I did have it strung up with polyester strings, I did notice a little bit of a ping to the frame as I was hitting my shots, but that is easily fixed with a vibration dampener, or if you're stringing with multi-filament strings, you won't have that issue. Even with a hybrid setup, that pinging sound did go down a bit for me. Overall, I really enjoyed this playtest, and I'll definitely keep this racket in my bag and maybe consider experimenting with different tensions as well as different strings, and super excited about exploring Tecnifibre a little bit more. That is all from us in Alpharetta, Georgia. Let's head over to California and see what Brittany's thoughts were on this racket.
Thanks, guys. I was fortunate enough to be able to play test this T-Fight 300 alongside the 295, as well as I have experience with the previous iteration of this T-Fight 300, so I had lots to compare it to. When I hit with that previous 300, the first thing I noticed was I was actually surprised with how much power I got out of a 98 square-inch head size. Now with this update, I'd say the power levels are similar, but a little bit less than the 295. Now when I was hitting ground strokes, I was really able to get a groove with this racket. I was able to be consistent, but I didn't find that I had a lot of oomph behind my shots. And then when I moved up to net, I really liked the balance of stability and maneuverability, and I also really liked the feel. I loved ending my points up at net with a variety of different volley options. Now when it came to starting off the point, I preferred to return over serve with this racket, which I do with most rackets. I liked that I had a little bit more control with this frame and I could use the server's power to really dictate play. I didn't have really any negatives with this frame. Nothing really stood out as a positive or a negative. I would note that there was maybe just a slightly lower launch angle than I'm used to. Overall, I think I prefer the 295 compared to the 300, but this is a great option when I was looking to get a good groove on. We strung up this Tecnifibre T-Fight ISO 300 with a couple different Tecnifibre polyester strings, including black coat, ice coat, and razor coat at around 52 to 53 pounds. For more information on this frame or any others, please check us out at Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.